Hello, everybody. I am Sunpsychic Jean. Please welcome my very special guest, Priscilla from the Crone Zone. Hey,
Hi,
Priscilla.
everybody. Oops. Thank you so much for having me today. My phone is. It's great to be with you. Happy Halloween. Happy
Hap-
Samhain.
Happy Halloween, happy Samhain, happy everybody. Yeah, it's
Yes.
it's really fun to get together here, and I know that there's a lot of shows on this afternoon, as well as there are some delays occurring with the um, YouTube, and we're just going to proceed as normal, and everybody can watch the replay. I think that would, but oh, here's Ginny. God. Hi,
Hey,
Ginny.
Jenny.
Nice to see you. And Juno, both of you ladies are here. You got in. I don't know if you can see a picture, but we're going to proceed anyway.
You must have
So,
had a lot of trouble earlier.
yeah, is your phone coming up okay?
My
Uh,
phone?
yeah, the
I don't
show
have.
on your
Oh, yes. It's showing up on my phone.
excellent. Well, there
Although
you
I look
go.
frozen on my phone. Nope.
I
It's up.
know.
It's all right.
Yeah. So today is a very special day. Priscilla had asked if she could, or we wanted to come on together and share Priscilla's private spiritual journey that she and I had together, and it was very profound, and it was very synchronistic, and it taught us many lessons, and change a lot of perspectives, if that makes sense. And yeah, thank you, Gypsy JJ. And it was really, really magical experience. It was a fun experience. It was well, actually, Priscilla, tell them a little bit about how you felt after having the experience.
Well, this wasn't my first experience with you, needless to say. I have been on several journeys with you and with Miss Terry. And they're always different and they're always profound and they're always full of love and information from our higher selves, our guides, masters. But this one in particular was fun for me because we started out at what was the lake? I almost said Lake Como, and I didn't mean. Well, Lake Tahoe. Lake Tahoe, which is actually one of my favorite places on the planet. And I've only been there once, and it was in the 1970s, and it was so beautiful. It just it was the most beautiful place I'd ever seen up until that point in my life. I guess I was in my late 20s. But this particular one seemed so profound in the messages that it was giving to us for the times that we're in, and it goes right along with everything we've been learning and finding out through mediumship or our psychic abilities or meditations. So let's tell them a little bit about it. I obviously say we started off at Lake Tahoe. But I
Yeah,
think you should tell them about how we travel because our travel vehicles are different with every single journey that we go on. Hey,
yeah.
White Dragon. Hi, Teresa.
Hey, White Dragon's here. Nice to see you. So, what we do is we receive a point of a portal that we go through, and with me, I'm not sure if it's because that's what I'm comfortable with or what my for some reason I always find a place of water, a point of water. It could be even a puddle, it could be a bathtub, it could be a sink, it could be anything, just something with water. And
I believe everyone we've left on water.
well, that's I feel comfortable because that's a portal. That's an
Mm-hmm.
easy way for me to transform. It's almost like it's that, when you move water and it just distorts your vision a little bit, or if it's clear and I feel like I can go through water. And so the first in the very beginning, we were in Lake Tahoe, and just that set Priscilla back because she was like, "Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful! It's so beautiful." So we ask, and we're waiting for a transportation to go on this journey, and we're standing on the sand and on the banks of Lake Tahoe, and a big oval um, vehicle shows up, just appears, just manifests in front of us. And it's like an eyelid, and the eyelid lifts up, and Priscilla and I get into the eye. It's like an eye shape, and then the eyelid closes, and we go in, and we're like, oh, it's in this fun. It's like a little membrane, and it closes. And then we go into Lake Tahoe. And as soon as we go in there, we're transported automatically. We also see a being that it has like a man's body, but a bird head. And I said, it looks like a hawk. It looks like an
It's a
eagle.
falcon, actually. A
It was a
falcon.
falcon. And guess what? It was Horus. And I didn't know. I'm like, oh my gosh, Horus is going to be our guide, our spiritual guide on this journey. And so Horus is with us. We're going through the portal in our little eyeball, and then we reach our destination. The eyeball opens up on the other side, like the eyelid, just like the eyeball closes and opens. It was fascinating.
It was
And
fascinating.
we have no idea. We have no idea that this is happening, or that this is going to happen, or if this is um what makes it happen. We just are open to our imagination and allowing for it to unfold as we're being led. It was really very beautiful.
Yeah, with no expectations. You have to just go with the flow and see whatever is there, whatever comes up, because you have to get rid of that monkey mind for sure.
And this is a good way to practice that, to practice letting go of the monkey mind. It wasn't
Mhm.
this easy for me when I first started. And then when you do it often, more and more and more, it becomes easier and easier and easier. Like your ego mind wants to say, an eyeball, that's not really watertight. Well, we don't, it's in our imagination. It doesn't matter if it's watertight,
Yep.
it's all okay, and these things will creep in. With until you build your practice. So anyway, we Horace wanted to take us. I'm jumping around a little bit. Horus wanted to take us to the Orion constellation. Now, Horus is an Egyptian god, and he is very much associated with the pyramids and the Sphinx. And this is very energetically connected to Priscilla and her past lives and her awareness and her energy. So all of this is very meaningful for Priscilla. I am connected to Egypt, but it's in a different way. And it's with Priscilla and Priscilla's energy that these things are manifesting for us. And
Let me just say one thing. When the first time that you and I went to the Hall of Records, Anubis was standing at the gate. Anubis was the gatekeeper on the Akashic records. So there really is a lot of Egyptian mythology surrounding me.
and it's the energy. It's the energy, and it's the energy of Anubis. It's
Mhm.
the energy of Horus.
And
It's
they're
the
very
energy,
high vibrational, very,
and
very high vibrational.
and
Horus is the
these.
son of Isis and
Oh,
Osiris.
wow. Wow. Yeah, we could definitely go for a deep dive there too, but it's the energy of the being. And because
Mhm.
the energy of Horus was brought to us in that form, and we recognize that energy as that form, this is how he presented to us. Um and this is how we identified this energy, this high vibrational being, this ascended master, so to speak, or this godlike deity would present themselves. And so he brought us to the Orion Council, and he wanted to show us a galactic view of what is happening on Earth. And he wanted to show us many different things that were going on. And in this, at this location, it was almost like a hologram that he almost presented right in front of us. And we're not really in a room. We're not really on a spacecraft. We're not really on the stars. We're just sort of
Just
know
kind of
that,
there.
yeah, that this is the viewpoint that we have. And that and it's that's part of the beauty of just letting it go. So we're looking through this hologram at the earth, and they're showing us different points. Like you can see the pyramids and how they, and we are in the Orion constellation looking down at the pyramids and connecting this energy back and forth, and he's showing us different things and teaching us some lessons along the way. And how was that for you, Priscilla?
Well, it was kind of interesting, the message he gave us about the, wildlife versus man, even though, um, man's ego gets in the way, wildlife just exists on their instincts, whereas man has too much judgment, and we tend to judge everything. So, we're not any smarter than the animals because they know how to live with and in nature, along with nature without destroying everything, whereas man destroys everything it touches, which is very
Yeah,
sad.
yeah.
So,
And along with that, they encourage us to use our instincts, that this is our natural ability.
our
This is
natural
our,
ability or our instincts and our intuition, and we need to use those more to become more in balance with Gaia as well as the universe. I mean, we seem to limit things to the earth, but we're not just connected to the earth. We're connected all the way out, all the way out everywhere. We are all part of the universe. So every thought, everything we do, it's all we're all one, so it all matters. No matter how small that decision you make, it's galactic. It's not just you. It's you and everybody around you, everybody on the planet, and so on and so on. So that was
it's, I
kind of
mean, it's such a profound concept that, you know, that the animal life here on Earth does not have ego, and they're able to coexist peacefully with one another in an ecosystem, and they each have their role to play. And yes, some are prey, and some are prey, and some are predators. But this
because
is a
this is a
natural. It,
duality.
it's a natural evolution. It's a natural ecosystem. It's a role that they play, and it's not, no one species dominates the other. Uh, yeah. So
I think another thing that they were saying also is the energy is neutral. It's neutral. The energy out there is neutral. It's your judgment that makes it good or bad.
oh wow, that is so profound, you guys. Wow.
Yeah.
It is our
That
own judgment that we place on it that makes it good or bad.
mhm. And that
Wow.
can be judgment from society, your lineage. I mean, that can come from anywhere, but it's still judgment.
Programming.
It's
Hmm.
programming. Judgment.
Discrimination. Hmm.
Oh.
Hmm.
Another thing that I liked was, he said that, in the beginning when of life on Earth, many species were seeded here to evolve, including humanity. So, I don't know if everybody believes in Adam and Eve. That's not really one of my belief systems, but I do believe we were seeded from somewhere, some other,
Yeah.
entities in the cosmos. I don't believe that God just, here you go, Adam and Eve.
Mhm. I think I was with, Scott from, um, Spiritual Essence, Scott,
Mhm.
and we went to a planet that, only had one species of plants, and this plant, the whole planet was this plant, and some of the plants on this planet were seeded here on Earth, And there's another planet that is the water planet, Sirius, or the star system, Sirius B, where all the whales and the
Hmm.
dolphins come from. And this species was seeded on Earth,
Hmm.
and all of the little bugs and all the little caterpillars were seeded here on Earth. And they kept bringing in different species to live in harmony, to live together
To
as
live
one.
in harmony. Boy, did we screw that one up.
Not yet, not yet. And we're getting to that. We're getting to
No, we
that.
are. We are. It seems horrible out there right now, but the vibration and the frequency on this planet is higher than it's ever been. Higher than it's
Absolutely.
ever been. So we've been here millions and millions and millions of years on this planet, and this is the highest frequency it's ever been. I think we're doing something right.
Mhm,
Finally. And I think it's people like us and the people in our chat and in our community online that are paying attention to hate doesn't work. Love seems to work a little bit better. So we
mhm,
choose love. I like
mhm.
that.
As well as millions of other light workers around the world. There are millions
Absolutely.
of us. There are millions of us waking up and saying, "You know what? I'm just not gonna deal with this, stuff that everybody's telling me anymore. I don't resonate with it," because our frequency is changing, our frequency is rising. It sparks other people's, frequency to rise, and we'll grow out of that dense, dimension and move up and evolve as one humanity. Um, it's it's a big concept. It's a spiritual awareness concept, and many different people have different approaches in order to bring this out and to offer it to people. But there's Horace, we kept asking Horace, well, thank you very much for that information. We saw it, we felt it, we understood it, and we said, is there anything else? And Horace was very much in the teaching mode. He was very sort of straight faced, not really chummy or joking with us, which some uh, guides do. He was very much just wanting to pass along this information, and
Hmm.
um, and he was like, okay, these ladies or these souls that are here are interested in more information. So he just kept giving us more information. It was quite jam packed.
It
Uh,
really was.
mhm,
He even talked about how the systems were breaking down right now for a reason, so that they could be restructured in a way that an advanced civilization wants. Community, um, communication, equality, justice, all of that. So he talked about that and how what appears to be a system failure is only occurring to allow society to be rebuilt using advanced civilization technology. And the opposition is here to catalyst us, the good peoples, to change, to move forward, to ascend, keep growing, keep raising your frequency.
mhm.
But
And
remember that without that catalyst of that lower vibration, we wouldn't move either. It's when you come to the point where you start to ask questions, when you wake up one day and say, "This is wrong. This doesn't work. I'm not going to do this anymore. What's going on here?" And you start to ask questions and changing within yourself. That's raising your vibration bit by bit, every step you take. And we need to take those steps.
Mhm.
But we also need to honor those and not denigrate those that aren't at the same frequency that we are. And if anything, send them love and light so that they too can raise their frequency. He was pretty adamant about that.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, they said that as we raise, they raise, and we all are going together because they're doing a service for all of us, and it's to motivate us and to make us feel uncomfortable, so that we want to move, so that we want to change,
Mhm.
and we want to find something new. If not, we would just be, resting on our laurels and eating bonbons and saying, "Oh, isn't this Earth pretty fun?" But they needed Earth to evolve. They needed Earth to raise the frequency, and they're like, humans down there, we need you. Earth needs
Wake
to
up.
send. We need you to do this for us. Mm-hmm.
And that everything is synchronized to a divine plan. Everything is synchronized. And one action creates the next. We must move forward, create, and express our authenticity. That is so important. Don't be what you think somebody else wants you to be. Be what you feel in your heart. Try following your heart to see what it is that you do want. We all spend our time going, I don't like this, I don't like that. Tell yourself what you do like. Because you know what? The universe doesn't hear, I don't. It just hears that, and that. So
That's
love it.
that's a good lesson. That's a good lesson. And a lot of people say, I feel stuck, or why can't I move forward? And, or they have fear, or they have, what is that? Analysis paralysis. Like
Yeah.
they want to analyze it. And why did I hear that bird sing to me that way? Just move on, move on. Thank you. And understand. Thank you for the message that you gave me, and keep moving on. They need us to keep moving forward. They need us to keep taking action and moving forward, so that
Mhm.
one action begets another action, begets another action. Our inaction is not helping the inertia that we need in order to get to the next dimension, and which is the age of Aquarius, is also part of the energies that is also helping us to move into this new energy, a
Yeah,
new
it's that
frequency.
26,000 year cycle that we've moved out of Pisces and into Aries, but I mean to Aquarius. But we're at the very beginning of Aquarius. And Pisces was all about. I wrote something down about that. Pisces was all about the material world, authority, that. Um, yeah, basically materialistic and authoritarian. And Aquarius is about cooperation and collaboration and community. So you can see that we're in the baby steps of moving into that energy. And all of us feel stuck sometimes, no matter how far you think you go or think that you've progressed. We all get stuck at times. I've been stuck.
And it makes us question ourselves. It makes us question what we've done, and how far we've come, and where we are. And it's the biggest word that I've learned, is trust. Let it go and trust that we are all being divinely guided, and to
I
trust
didn't
that.
realize how little I trusted the universe or myself until that we started getting these issues about trust. And I'm like, now that I've learned to trust what I hear in my readings, when, during practices and stuff,
Mm.
it is just giving me so much more confidence. But at first I
That-
thought it was, oh, it's just my imagination. That can't possibly be right. No, it's all about the imagination.
and we've been doing it all along. That's
Hmm.
why people are like, well, I always get those instincts, I always get those gut feelings. And we're like, how that's psychic ability. That's your spirit guides and loved ones and angels guiding you. And
Hmm.
you're like, that's what that is. And it's almost like we were told it was something else, but it's really our psychic abilities.
It
And
is.
then once we learn to recognize that we've been doing it all along, we can pay attention to it. And when you pay attention to it, it grows. Just like if you pay attention to your problems, they grow. Well, if you pay attention to your gifts and your abilities, they grow.
They
So
grow.
what you pay attention to, what you put your energy into, what you put your intention in, it grows. And look at all of you are here watching this show and learning and evolving and paying attention to your own instincts and your own energy, and these concepts that are just bigger than all of us, and trying to just understand how that affects me, how that affects
Mhm.
you and your life. and what this all means. And we're all in this journey together. We all help each other, and you allow us to be here and help to share our experience with you, so that if there's anything, any one little thing that just brings you inspiration or clarifies something for you in your life, then we've done our job, and we're all here working together. And it's just really beautiful,
It
and
is
we're all
beautiful.
Mhm. So let's see, where did we go? Oh, along with that, they say that our dreams, our dreams of hope are very, very important for this process to help it to run and proceed smoothly, proceed on time, to proceed um, at all. Now, our dreams and our hope and our desire for something better, something more,
Keep the
and
faith in it. Trust that it's
Mhm.
going to happen. Just keep the faith. That was a big one. Hi, hi, Vibin and Majestic Oracle. One of the
I
things that I really loved was when they brought up the horses. When
tell
they
them
brought
about
up the
that.
horses, I used to raise gypsy cobs on a ranch in Texas. And when I first started my journey, my healing journey, I took Eric Pearl's The Reconnection, and I practiced on my horses.
And that was a healing modality, right?
It's a healing modality. It's energetic healing, and I practiced on all my horses. Whenever they would get a bump or a bruise, I'd rub my hands up and down their legs, or just
With the intention and
with
the
the
energy.
intention of healing whatever needed to be healed. Absolutely.
This is the
Well,
power that's
after, go ahead.
sorry. This is the power that's in all of us.
All of us, because that energy isn't mine. It's coming from the quantum field. It's not even going through me. All I'm doing is directing that healing energy to where I want it to heal. And that must have been like 2008 or 9, um, because I think we sold all the horses in 2010. But it was brilliant, and what it caused, what it made me do was open a wellness center on our farm. I took the big tin metal building that David had been using for his business. He retired after his heart attack, and it became a goddess center. A friend and her husband came over one weekend, and the two boys created rooms for healing, and it became a wellness center. And we had psychic fairs and different healing modalities to show people, things like cupping, things that were on the computer, bio, whatever, I can't remember. But there were tons of different healing modalities that people, tuning forks, the works. But it was me working on the horses, and the horses urging me, is what he said. I believe
Yep.
what Horace said was it was the horses urging me to start the wellness
Uh-huh.
center.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was pretty neat.
I thought it was really neat because it came, I mean, all of these like concepts. And I said, anything else, anything else? And he showed me a horse. And I said, Priscilla, he's showing me a horse. I said, do you have a spirit guide that's a horse? And she said, no. And I said, and she said, I used to raise horses. And I was like, these horses. And I said, these horses they were talking about that everything has a reason. Everything is divinely orchestrated, that everything is put into our life for a particular purpose. And by Priscilla moving into the raising the horses, and then wanting the horses were the ones who were giving her the energy or the thought to go and to try to learn healing modalities, because the horses, she wanted to help the horses, she wanted to learn about this new thing, and the horses allowed her to practice on them and to develop her trust and to develop her sense of that subtle energy and
Mhm.
manipulating the energies.
Yeah,
And
because one time, the first time I touched one with the energy, they jumped. I realized that I had to back off and just gently start it as I was touching them, because when I touched them with the full effort, it was like,
I know. Yeah. And it was so beautiful that, within all of these lessons and within all of this, the concepts of the evolution and the raising of the frequency, and just he was showing us how this divine intervention works in our own lives. And
Yes.
with Heather, or with Priscilla being she was in the client mode, and I was providing the assistance in this spiritual journey. It was pointed and pertained in her life, around her awareness, around her questions, and around her energy. Like we said in the beginning, her energy is connected to the pyramids and to Egypt and to many different things because of past lifetimes. But everything is connected. Everything is, and this is what they insisted
That's
a
amazing.
moment ago. We said that they wanted us to make and take action. Taking action um, helps keep things moving. And they couldn't say that enough. They couldn't say that enough. So what's next? What do you have next?
What about our cobra?
Okay.
Well, for one thing, they also talked about time being an illusion. And I think that might have been related to us. They're desiring us to go into these energies, doing journeys, meditations, Akashic records, whatever it is, going into that quantum field more and more to raise our vibrations and teach us the lessons that we need to learn, that are not here on earth. But I mean, learn whatever it is that you learn on your journeys. And it's always something different, isn't it?
Absolutely. They said time is malleable. Malleable.
Yeah.
What is it?
Malleable. I can't say it either today.
I'm
Malleable.
glad I'm not the only one.
Malleable.
Malleable.
Yeah.
And they said that it does slow up and it does speed up. It does slow down and it does speed up. It's in our hands, and that we allow this time to change. They say that if we are in the present moment, if we're not thinking of the past and we're not planning for the future, and they're not saying never plan. I mean, we all plan. All have
Well, you have
things
to
to.
on in this
But
3D.
while you're planning, plan, and when you're working on a task, be present in working on that task, whatever that might be. And don't think about the plan or the other something else. Be present, be focused, and apply your attention to the task at hand in the now moment. And the more you can do this, the more time will stretch out for you. Now, they did say the energies are speeding up, and the
Hmm.
progression or the evolution is speeding up, because we're a little bit far behind, because I guess in the 50s and 60s we were just having um you know
Cocktails.
exactly.
I
Having
remember my
concerts
father
outside.
driving around with a glass of, I don't know, probably gin. Cocktails. When we'd be going out to dinner, oh, I'll take my cocktail with me and drive to the restaurant. You wouldn't think of doing that today.
Hmm. Hmm. Now it's definitely speeding up, and but the time that is ours, and the awareness of time, like, does it seem like it's slowing down? Does it seem like it's speeding up? And the more that we can stay in the now present moment, is we'll be able to achieve more in that allotted time.
Well,
But it was a.
then to you, when you're absorbed in something and you're busy in something, you don't pay any attention to the time.
Mhm.
It's only
Yeah,
when you really want that time to pass it and you're watching it all the time, it seems to take forever.
it
But
does.
didn't the scientists say that we had gained a minute in the last year, that the spin of the earth had gained like a minute in the last
I I do
year?
remember something like that,
Something
yeah,
about that? Yeah.
yeah,
So it is speeding
uh,
up.
yeah, but it is an earthly realm type of construct
Construct,
that,
yeah.
humanity developed it, and the salamanders in the jungle don't know what time it is, and they can live their lives, and they can have their babies, and they can, you know, forage in the forest, and it's amazing how all of these species don't have time, but humans, we insist on time and the pressure of time. So
I think
some of
that's a
these,
control system.
mhm, mhm. Just think about it. Think about it. Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting. It's
It
interesting. And we
is.
call it time when we say it's time to eat. It's not time to eat. It's just when we're hungry, you know? And we get into habits and I do understand that, but that's a whole nother deep dive, right? So
Yeah.
what do we have next? Where do you want to go?
Cobra.
Oh, right. So
He
Horace was thanking us for coming, and we were planning to depart from the teaching area or the lesson area that we were given all of these lessons. And before we departed, he showed us, he wanted to give us a departing gift. And he said, "This is the way that you'll be departing." And he showed us a cobra. And he said that this it has much magic for us to investigate, study, and understand the meaning behind the cobra, and to utilize this in our everyday life. And Priscilla was like, "Ooh, I don't like snakes." And I'm like, "It's not a snake. It is the energy of cobra, the energy of the. mm, it's like an archetype.
it
What
is,
it
yes.
means, what it holds, what it teaches us. It's the energy of cobra. It is the essence of cobra as um, mm, the collective of cobra. Like
Right.
cobras manifest as snakes here on earth, but their energy and their spirituality, spiritual meaning of cobra means something else. It's the collective of cobra. Um, and some of the things that we just uh, looked up at the end was important to learn lessons from this cobra. And the cobra provides protection and guidance. It's a highly evolved being, and that we haven't tapped into all of the lessons that this cobra has to offer us. But this was something that Horus gave us. And don't you know that they all had that cobra right in front, right at the front of their crowns? All of the gods, all of the goddesses, all had this cobra, and they gave it to us almost as like a gift to investigate once we were done with the spiritual journey.
When he
And
called us goddesses.
oh yeah, many goddesses use the energy of cobra, and we're like, is he talking to us? I think he just called us cobra. I mean, I
He
think he
actually
just
did
called
call
us.
us goddesses. I thought that was brilliant. I don't
It
feel
was.
like a goddess, but apparently I was some at some point.
Yep, it was really, really funny. So
Yeah, that cobra is also about healing as well. Healing and intuition and protection and strength. The Cobra Spirit Guide, I had to look them up because I really wasn't real comfortable with the cobra. But after I got to know what cobra was about, it was like, yeah, okay, I can deal with cobra.
right.
Maybe I need to do a past life regression and see why I have such a terror of snakes. I'm right there along with Indiana Jones.
But I just love that I mean, they all wore them. They all
They
wore them
did.
on their crowns. And
They did.
I wanna learn more. I think it's, a meditation that I'd like to dive into. I think it's more spiritual journeys I'd like to dive into.
Mhm.
I'd like to learn more. I mean, if Horace thought this was important enough to give to us to depart
Absolutely.
and to investigate, it was very important. I mean, all of these huge, large concepts, and it was blowing our minds, and it may not be, something that we understand right away, but after a while, it'll all make sense. We'll be like, "Oh, now I know what that meant."
Yeah, I do that a lot, those moments. I could have had a V8 moment. Another thing you talked about, and I've forgotten this, but I wrote it down here, is the land masses and the grid amping up. unified, working together to create the unity consciousness. Love your enemies, for they teach you your strength. Resist that lower vibration. All of those things. I think he must have shown when we were looking at that map,
Mhm.
topographical map, he was talking about how the grid has been amping up. Do you remember
Mhm.
any more about that?
Let me see. Um, just that the energetic lines, that we are part of the earth. We are not on the earth. We are part of the earth, and
Yes.
our energy, our frequency, our um practice, our devotion makes a difference on for Gaia, for the earth to change and raise its frequency. We're all part of a net, a connection, like light workers that are connected. It almost they show me like like that geodome, is it called? And
Mhm.
we're all these lights connected to one another,
Well,
and
that's what the
we're
grid
all.
around the planet looks like, what you're talking about exactly. It's just
Mhm.
and I work on that grid a lot, and anybody can work on that grid. You just send unconditional love and unity consciousness. You send that energy from your heart out to the grid, and that goes to everything. It goes to everywhere and
Mhm.
helps Mother Earth as well.
Yeah, and our vibration, our frequency is what helps to generate that. So
Mhm.
each one of us can't do it, but each of us together can
Mhm.
raise the frequency and change and help to change the world. I mean, that's what we all want to do. We want to change things, right? But we're saying, "Oh, we're only one person. What can we do?" But doing what is authentically and naturally occurring within our own lives with intention, integrity, and vibration. This is what generates and makes a difference when we collectively, when each one of us together connects all of those energies. This is what raises the vibration. So don't think that anything that you do is too little to make a difference.
It's not
Each
at
thing that
all.
we do makes a huge difference.
Everything we do.
Every action is connected to another action, and it was very profound. It was really deep messages.
Another thing they said was to do more creative hobbies. Remember? Follow your bliss. Creative hobbies, tasks, inventions, ask questions, be inquisitive to reveal what is hidden. Practice elevated consciousness. And by that, I think he was talking about meditation. And we asked for a gift, and he gave us the childlike innocence.
That was really profound for me.
It was
So
beautiful.
often in these spiritual journeys, we like to ask for a gift, and so I was a little bit taken back. I'm like, he's showing me like a childhood innocence. And I'm like, okay, thank you. And then once I received it, or we received it, it almost like kind of took effect on me. And the childlike innocence removed all of the bad things I did, all of the horrible things I saw, all of the uh, missteps that I took, all of the, the judge, anything that we judged ourselves,
Mhm.
anything we didn't forgive ourselves, anything that was done to us. It was like it took all of this away and said, this is all of your ego that's holding on to it. Your childhood innocence is your soul's vibration. Your natural soul's essence is our childhood. If we have children in our vicinity, they are more of their soul like vibration and of their soul's essence than any other time in our lifetimes. And they're bringing this childhood innocence back because they don't want us to hang on to the bad things that we may have said to somebody, the horrible things that may have happened to us, or the things we may have witnessed, or the things that we have heard. All of this, he wanted to
You
take that
release.
away from us so that we could become more of our soul's essence. It really, really felt. I'm like, I can feel it.
Mhm.
It was like changing the vibration and the energy. And And it did go away, and I need to go back in there. I need to listen to it again, and I need to feel that dose of childhood innocence again, and bring it back and bring it back, and keep working on that energy and start developing it and working with that energy so that
Mhm.
I don't carry on my back some of the things that I may have done or said or didn't forgive or wasn't forgiven for. Anything that is a burden, anything that our ego is telling us to judge ourselves on, this is what he wants us to free ourselves
Mhm.
so that we can help him more and help the universe more.
Exactly. And, if you don't have horse to do it for you, you can always do cord cutting.
Yeah.
Cord cutting's a great way to get release from things like that. And there's all kinds of cord cutting ways to do it. I
Mhm.
personally just grab it at my belly and cut it with an athame, say what I'm getting rid of, and just slice those cords with the selenite athame. That's my way of doing it, but there's tons of different ways to do it.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
I
It's
also wanted to say some of the stuff that most of you on this channel know that I am part of the Crone Zone with my friend Heather, and we did several shows that really address these things. And the first one was episode 170, and it's about the spiritual shift and moving away out of the Piscean age and what that was all about and how to move into the Aquarian age. And then episode 172 was quantum co-creation.
mm,
And that's a big one because the quantum field is all around us, and that's where creation happens. And we can meditate ourselves right there. And if you're going into your Akashic records, if you've taken the classes and know how to go into your Akashic records, the Akashic records are part of the quantum field. So you've been there if you've been there, right? And then the third one, which is a very unusual one that I actually knew nothing about when I first heard about it. It's called the 12 Powers of Man. And that's episode 181. Then the 12 powers literally are faith, strength, wisdom, love, mastery, imagination, understanding, order, will, zeal, elimination, and life. Now, you think of some of those words, and many of those things were in the messages from Horus.
yep.
We have those as humans, as humanity. Those things are within us, which I thought was kind of neat. So, yeah, the Piscean age was associated with money, power, hierarchy, and control, and the Aquarian age is about bottom up initiatives that disrupts the old rules and comes up with new. It's all about the cooperation community in that. So I'm ready
Wow.
to be a part of the Aquarian age. I'm
Absolutely.
Yeah. This
A-
divine feminine is coming through to balance out the divine masculine, and we all have that in our bodies, and we all have to balance our own divine masculine and feminine, and that's a chore each one of us has. And I didn't even know
Absolutely.
about that until the last couple of years. I didn't realize that I was so high end divine masculine and needed to balance out. So that's what I've been working on, is balancing those things out, because
It's
that's
what we're
new
taught.
to the planet.
Yeah. Go succeed, collect, earn money, gather things,
Mhm.
buy houses, get cars. This is what we're taught success is, but that's not
It's not
what
at all.
our purpose here is. And everybody that I talk to, all of your loved ones that I talk to on the other side, none of them say, "How's my car? How's my house?" When somebody said, "What do you want me to do with your things?" They showed me a Monopoly game, and they closed the board. They put the lid on the Monopoly game and they shoved it back under the couch. They said that was just a game, means nothing. All of those
Things.
things we acquire mean nothing. It's the love, it's the relationships, it's the genuine compassion and forgiveness. All of these heart virtues, all of this you and I, you all being here and being in this community. This is what's going to matter on the other
Mhm.
side. This is what's going to help our souls to evolve. This is what's going to help raise the vibration of the earth and of humanity. All of this, and we all know it, and you all are remembering it. You're like, I felt something. I wasn't sure what that meant, but I felt something. Like,
Hmm.
and it's a process of remembering and wakening up and becoming aware. And this is all we're all doing. This is what we're all doing here, so
Hmm.
that we can become more aware of who we truly are inside. I'll never forget. I'll tell that story in a minute. Let me just finish.
Okay.
Um, there's one spot that I wanted to bring up is along the way, and Horace was sending us back on our way, and we went over. We turned, and there was our vehicle. That was the eye that looked like it had an eyelid opened, and we got in, and we went back through Lake Tahoe, and the eye came up on the shore, and the eyelid opened, and Priscilla and I got out, and we both hug each other and say, "What a wonderful time together." And then Horace told us uh, telepathically, he said, "You two weren't ever in an eye. That wasn't an eye. You two traveled in your Merkaba. We traveled in our own soul's vehicle." And we traveled with them in our Merkaba. He's saying this is the vehicle that we use when we are asleep at night, and our consciousness travels to our origin, our homeland, our teachers, our council. This is what we used to do this journey. And and he's like, "You guys want a vehicle? We just showed you a vehicle, but we actually were in our own Merkaba, and that's how we traveled to um, experience this spiritual
Wh-
journey."
When I'm working on Mother Earth and working on the grid, I work from the center of Mother Earth in my Merkaba. That's exactly how, and that's how we travel through dimensions is in our Merkaba. Merkaba, however you say it. Yeah, but I sit in the iron crystal in my Merkaba, and that's how I send out that unconditional love, unity consciousness. I send it throughout Mother Earth, all the way out to the grid and out into the universe. Every one of you can do it. Every single one of you can take.
Already do it at night.
Yeah. Well, you travel at night, but all of you can work on the planet like that. Every
It's
single
part
one of you can just sit in the center of Mother Earth and send out love. And
it's
it's a powerful, powerful feeling
it's
to do
part of
that.
our natural instinct
Hmm.
that they're
Nobody told
asking
me to
you.
do that. Just one day I decided to do it. It just seemed like I'm sure I was being guided, but just one day, oh, I'll just go sit in the Merkaba in the center of the planet, and
and,
that's how I'll
and
do my work.
we can transcend dimensions.
That's
Is that
I
what you
believe that's how interdimensional beings travel is in their Merkaba. That's my understanding. Is that's how they travel.
Wow. Wow. You're blowing my mind now. This is new information. See, I'm probably
Really?
doing what you guys were doing when we were telling you about our show, because she just blew my mind. It's a I hadn't considered that before. Wow. And
Years ago, when I was first studying this stuff, I knew a woman that was trying to build a Merkaba
oh,
out of copper in the mountains of Colorado. I don't know if she's still there. I don't know if she made it work, but she wanted to time travel. She was an engineer. She was brilliant and bat crazy, I thought, but now I'm not quite so sure. Maybe she had something. I don't know.
absolutely. Absolutely. There are energetic ley lines here on earth that assist us, that we can use and draw on, and our own instincts, our own vibration, our own soul's essence. And they're just letting us know that there's something new coming. It's the age of Aquarius. It's the evolution of humanity. It's the new dimension that we're going to be moving into in the astrological realms and beyond. Beyond universes. It's such a huge concept, but we wanted to take this opportunity and share this with you, just to maybe one thing that we said, or one word that we said, maybe planted a seed in your awareness to help you maybe think of, oh, well, maybe that's what that means, or oh, maybe
Yeah.
that's what that was. and just to open your awareness of a possibility, because there are infinite possibilities.
There
And
are. We need to think big. The possibilities are endless, and we just think we live in this little tiny box. Think big, dream big. That's what they want for us. Dream bigger than you've ever thought possible, because it's going to happen.
yeah, the
Exciting.
manifestation energies are really high right now too.
They really are. I love Gypsy JJ. You're right. They are our personal ships. That's exactly what they are, Merkaba. Our
Oh,
personal
wow.
ships. I love that.
Wow. Wow. Well, we're right at 55 minutes, and this has been so profound. One that little story that I was going to interject there was I recently was at a psychic fair, and a woman, they come in, they sit down, and I read them, and then they get up, and another one comes in and sits down, and I read
I
that
don't
one,
know
and
how
then
you do that. It's amazing
it's
to
just
me.
look. I do. What do we do? Like
I
10
know you
10
do it on the
readings.
shows too. You're
We
just
Yeah,
incredible.
so that's how that I'm used to going from one to the next, right? That's how I trained my skill.
Trained your brain.
And so this woman sat down, and I could feel like whew, energy coming off of her. And I was like, you must be psychic. Are you a psychic, or are you a medium? And she says, no. I'm like, a card reader. She's like, no. So I'm like, okay. So I'm closing my eyes, and I feel her essence is so big and so large and very authentic and present. The authenticity and the presence that she had. And I said, I don't know, do you meditate or something? She said, oh yeah, I've been meditating for 30 years. And she meditates and got in touch with her soul's vibration. And she inhabits her own human body, her humanness, her human vehicle, her soul
With her
fully
higher self. Wow.
uh, inhabits this physical vehicle that we're in. And she was walking around with just such a beautiful vibration, such a beautiful essence. And this is this is what they beat out of us, for so long. We're walking around in a little ego, and the ego is so tiny, so tiny, but
So
it has
tiny.
such a big mouth. But she understands her spiritual connection, and she brings this in and opens this up, and she was her spiritual essence. And I was like, thank you for coming and sitting down. And
That's what I
then
want to be.
I, it was a lesson for me. It was a
Sure.
lesson for me. And then a couple people later, a woman sat down, and she was having marital problems, and she couldn't find a car, and she wanted to know when, her check would come in. And I could see that she didn't know who she was. She never knew, she was never introduced to her soul, and she was really in the ego and all the egoic. And I'm not judging, I'm just saying that we could feel the vibration.
Feel
But
the
this
difference
is
in the two vibrations. Amazing.
and it's what we're moving towards. And I'm not judging, I'm not saying this was perfect, this was not. I'm just saying you could feel the difference, that there's uh definite beauty, ease, assistance, uh what is that, like, balance
Hmm.
and flow. And
Yeah.
this is how we were intended to live here on earth, not struggle, or you know what somebody said, peanut butter mode, peanut butter phase, walking through the mud and walking through the peanut butter
Yeah.
you
Walking
know
through peanut butter would not be easy. I like what Lark said, probability, possibilities mixed with a 9 billion co creators.
Yep.
Yay. That's love. That's
Yep.
increasing that vibration, that frequency. And Christine's right too. They keep us small so we can be more easily controlled and herded. Yep, herd you right into that TV. So you'll buy this and buy that and think you got to wear these clothes and those clothes. I am absolutely amazed at how non materialistic I've become.
Hmm.
I throw shit out all the time now. I don't need that. I haven't used it in 2 years. Why did I think I need that? You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And
It,
I don't buy stuff anymore unless I need it specifically.
mhm.
I don't care about the car I drive. I don't care about, well, I do care as far as it being in good shape and safe to drive and all of that.
Well, such a beautiful spiritual journey that Priscilla came here to share with all of us. And it was an amazing experience for me because, yeah, I was like, wow. It
Seems
was
like we both get whatever we need out of it. It's always a beautiful experience for each of us. I highly recommend journeying with our sweet friend, Sunpsychic Jean. She is amazing, and
every journey is different. And
everyone is
typically,
different.
typically we get one spiritual lesson and we have fun and we learn about you and we learn, but because Priscilla is so open-minded and spiritually aware, this is what he was like giving us and giving us and giving us. It was a heavy dose of it for sure.
Oh, I
Yeah.
don't think it was just me. I think it was you as well.
Our energies together. Yeah.
Mhm. Well,
And
Jean and I feel like we've known each other in past lives. We feel like we've been together through many, many lives, so we have a special bond. But we met in this community. I'd never met Jean 2 years ago.
absolutely.
So I have met so many wonderful people in this community. I wish we could just all be in the same room together.
Hmm.
That would
Hmm.
be so much fun.
So Priscilla and I both took a class. It's on Akashic record reading, and it's Val from Dragonfly Crystals was offering the class, and we both took the class, and we are both practicing. And it's limited to, well, we're both practicing. And what I would like to do is I would like to ask if any of you high vibrational individuals are interested in helping me practice. I'm offering an opening on my books. If you want to go to my website and book with me, if you have the time, and help me practice on Akashic record reading only. And this is me practicing the skill of opening the records and connecting with your Akashic record guides. What are they called? AREs? No, ARGs.
Akashic Record Masters.
Oh,
Arms,
ARMs.
remember? We named it Arms. Akashic Record Masters, Arms.
Yeah, yeah. So, and it would be
I
only
haven't
be
done that, but I think I might do that too. It's a
yeah,
good
it's a
idea.
short one and it's only for Akashic record reading, and it is for my education, my practice, so I can get practice so that eventually I can put it on my list of offerings for a fee. But right now it's free because I'm offering it to you, the community, and asking, I'm not telling anybody else, only you, and to help me practice a little bit so that I can get up and running and maybe offer it in my repertoire in other things that
Absolutely.
I offer.
You'll
Mhm.
be phenomenal.
It
I
is
wanna
different.
practice with you.
It
I
is
wanna
different. So I want to get
It
more
is.
familiar with it and get it going, get it moving. So,
What's your website name? Is
oh,
it
sunpsychicgene.com.
brilliant? Oh, I
Hmm.
don't think I'm a thing on yours.
And when I was at my psychic fair and I was reading a room, I said, who knows what my website is? And they had raised their hand. I'm like, she said, Sun Psychic Gene. I said, you're right. I said, who knows what my YouTube channel is? And another somebody else raised their hand. They said Sun Psychic Gene. I'm like, you're right. Who knows what my Facebook is? And they all said Sun Psychic Gene. I'm like, now you know
Yay.
where to find me. but
Okay, I think I
but
got it right, except for I didn't capitalize the P. I apologize.
That's okay. You did it. That's very good. Yeah, thank you very much. You did it. You went on both channels. Look at you,
It
fancy pants.
automatically goes to both when you type it in.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not that quick. I'm not
Yeah.
that good. Everything
Wow.
I know about YouTube, I learned from you, pretty much.
Uh-oh. So, Lark is saying the crowd in Rome, the crowd is Rome. How do you just distract
Distract
the
the crowd with
crowd?
the Colosseum, and how many Colosseums do we have? football, baseball, basketball. Absolutely. He's saying distractions. These
Oh,
things are distractions. Keep
wow.
you busy over here while we're doing this over here.
Wow.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, scary,
Interesting.
isn't
The
it?
crowd is Rome. How do you distract the crowd? I see. Okay. Oh, exactly. But don't tell my husband because he likes the Eagles. No.
I've
Well,
never really cared for any of these.
I haven't either. I don't
Competition
understand
is
it.
not something that my brain works with. I think it's just
It's
competition creates discord.
Yeah, it's collaboration. That's what it's all about. Well, thank you all for being here and for hanging with us. I hope you learned just a little bit or were entertained by listening to our stories. And thank you very much for your support and for your confidence in us. And Priscilla, thank you very much for agreeing to come on and share your story and telling us a little bit about these beautiful experiences that we had together. And is there anything you wanted to say before when is your next show coming up?
Tuesday, Halloween. We're gonna do I know, I'll be wearing something different, probably unicorn for Tuesday. On Halloween, we're gonna talk about a little bit about Halloween, but do cards, and we're gonna do giveaway. We have some decks to give away to celebrate Halloween, but also us reaching 500 subscriptions. So
Nice.
exciting.
Subscribers. Nice, nice,
500 in less
nice.
than 2 years. I feel pretty good about that. I think that's fun.
Wonderful, wonderful.
I
And
know.
it's can would you be able to pop your information is below, but if you can just cut and paste if you did it before, did you do that?
I don't know
Oh,
how to do that.
let
I
me
don't
see.
even know, it's at the Crone zone. So it's what? www.
Okay, I'll put it in mine. That's
Okay,
right.
you do it.
I thought you were doing that before, but there is Priscilla's YouTube channel there, and please go over and subscribe. A lot of this really high vibrational, mind blowing information. They do it in small bites, and it's really. They do it in small segments and they make it understandable. They introduce the topic and then they move on. It's really very, very a beautiful way of enlightening and helping people to develop their own awareness.
I hope
It's
so.
oh, it's brilliant,
I hope so.
brilliant, and you cover the gamut. You cover the gamut. So whatever you might be interested in or have questions about, look on the Crone Zone. She has covered it.
Thank you. And there's also Heather. Heather is my buddy on the Crone Zone. She wasn't here today because this was about my spiritual journey, but normally it's the two of us, and we talk about and we read cards. We usually do our presentation, and then we go into reading cards because we love to read. I've found I like to read cards,
It
and it
is. It's
actually
really
helps it actually helps my psychic abilities
it
come through.
does.
It
It
brings
does.
them through. It helps. So
It
yeah,
does. It really does. It exercises that little muscle so that
it
when we
does.
need it, it'll be there. Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you everybody that joined. Appreciate it very much.
Yes. Thank
It's
you,
always
everybody.
fun going on a trip with you, no, whether it's on YouTube or not, or Zoom.
All
It's
right.
fun. Thank
Thank
you.
you, Priscilla, and thank you, everybody, for being here. Have a wonderful evening. We'll see you soon. Bye bye.
Thank you.